What if I told you that right now, sitting in an old jar, a forgotten drawer, or even inside your car's cup holder, you might be holding a tiny copper coin worth more than most luxury homes in America? Yes, a simple 1973 D Lincoln penny, worth a staggering $954,000 in today's private collector market. And the craziest part? Almost nobody knows what makes this 1-cent coin skyrocket into the rare coin stratosphere. It's the kind of discovery that instantly transforms a regular person into a millionaire. Stay with me because by the end of this video you'll know exactly what to look for and why this coin is rewriting the rules of wealth building. And no, I'm not asking you to go digging under your couch cushions unless you want to. Because let's be honest, if $1 million penny is hiding in your couch, that sofa suddenly becomes the most valuable piece of furniture you've ever owned. Our story begins in 1973, a year when the U.S. Mint in Denver was producing billions of pennies. Nothing unusual, nothing glamorous, just everyday coins rolling off the production line. And then, somewhere in that sea of ordinary cents, something extraordinary happened. An error. A rare, microscopic imperfection that slipped past every quality control station. An error so subtle, so elusive, that collectors today describe it as one of the holy grails of modern U.S. numismatics. Imagine holding a coin that looks almost identical to every other penny you've handled in your lifetime, yet this one contains a mistake, an artistic, historic, billion-to-one anomaly that elevates it from pocket change to a life-altering asset. People often think wealth requires luck or inheritance, but sometimes it just requires awareness. And right now, that awareness might be worth nearly $1 million. As collectors searched through old rolls, coin jars, and inherited collections, whispers began circulating in numismatic circles about a 1973 D penny with a dramatic minting flaw. A flaw that turns the coin into a six-figure masterpiece. At first, the stories sounded like myths, until the first confirmed piece sold. Then another. Suddenly, the world realized that this coin wasn't just rare, it was a phenomenon. And this is where the fear factor comes in. Not fear of losing something, but fear of missing something. Fear of having a fortune pass casually through your hands because you didn't know what signs mattered. That is why more and more Americans in this age group are learning about coins. Because the next big discovery could belong to them. As the truth behind the 1973 D error penny spread, its demand exploded. Collectors, investors, auction houses, and even private wealth buyers began hunting for this coin with relentless intensity. Why? Because rare errors aren't just pieces of metal. They are physical time capsules, snapshots of a moment when the minting process hiccuped and created an irreplaceable collectible. By the time the most recent verified specimen crossed the private market at $954,000, the coin world shook. People who had never taken pennies seriously suddenly realized that everyday money could unlock extraordinary wealth. And here's where the excitement kicks in. This coin's rarity keeps driving its value upward. Every year, demand grows stronger, and the number of surviving error coins stays the same. Scarcity creates power. Power creates value. And value creates opportunity for people just like you who know where to look. Many collectors compare this coin's trajectory to early-stage art investments. You know, the kind where someone buys a small painting for a few dollars and years later, it sells for millions. Except here, the starting price wasn't even a few dollars. It was a single cent, but here's something you should know. The market for rare coins is heating up like never before. As retirement-age collectors invest more heavily, prices surge. And as younger high-net-worth buyers enter the market, competition is fierce. This creates urgency, real urgency. If you find one of these coins or anything similar, the time to act is now. The market is on fire, and people want high-value error coins more than ever. Now imagine this moment. You're holding a 1973 D Lincoln penny. It has that unexpected flaw, maybe a dramatic doubling, a wrong planchet strike, a misaligned die. You realize you're holding the exact kind of error that has sold for nearly $1 million. In that instant, your entire life shifts. Suddenly, you're not just someone with loose change, you're someone with leverage, with opportunity, with the kind of asset that can open doors to a new lifestyle. This is where your story begins. Because every person who has ever sold a rare coin and transformed their financial situation started exactly like this, by learning what everyone else overlooked. And this video right now might be your turning point. One penny, one error, One moment of awareness separating the ordinary from the extraordinary. And before we end, ask yourself a question. A pattern interrupt to reset your mind. When was the last time a penny made your heart race? Exactly. Today might be that day. Not because the coin is magical, but because opportunity is. This is your invitation to explore your jars, your drawers, your inherited collections. It's time to pay attention to what the average person ignores. Because in a world where so many chase wealth in complicated ways, the smartest people are discovering fortunes in the simplest places. And that's the beauty of rare coins. They don't just reward you, they surprise you. They elevate you. They remind you that wealth often hides in plain sight, waiting for someone with the eyes to see it. So as you finish this video, remember this: the 1973 D-era penny worth $954,000 isn't just a coin. It's a message, a symbol that extraordinary value exists in ordinary places. And if you're ready to join the Americans who have turned rare coins into real wealth, your journey begins the moment you start looking. Because in the world of numismatics, the next millionaire might be you. Act 1 begins with a single spark. A spark that could change someone's entire financial destiny. Imagine this. You're digging through an old jar of coins, maybe one that has been sitting untouched for decades, dust collecting on the rim. And there it is. A humble copper coin, a 1967 Lincoln cent with no mint mark. Most people would shrug and toss it back without a second thought. But what if I told you that this very penny, this unassuming piece of American history, has shocked collectors with an astonishing market valuation reaching as high as $987,000? Suddenly, that old coin jar doesn't look so boring anymore, does it? And yes, before you ask, this is the part where people either run to their attic or pause the video to check their pockets. Don't worry, you can check right after this, because what you're about to hear could put you miles ahead of the average collector. There's always that moment in life when opportunity knocks, softly at first, almost whispering, and most people ignore it. But the ones who listen, the ones who dare to look closer, are the ones who break through into wealth, freedom, and a lifestyle that others only watch from afar. The 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with its rare error is one of those whispering opportunities. A coin minted during a turbulent moment in American history, when the U.S. Mint removed mint marks altogether. But in the process, a handful of extraordinary misstrikes occurred, creating a rarity so shocking that collectors today are scrambling to get their hands on one. And the funny thing is, some of the most valuable ones were found not in museums but in everyday homes. It almost makes you wonder what else might be hiding in plain sight. Maybe your future? Maybe your next big win? Or maybe that penny is sitting under your sofa cushion right now, silently laughing at you. Coins have a sense of humor like that. Act 2 begins with a shift, a deeper dive into the heart of the mystery. The rare error on the 1967 penny isn't just an imperfection. It's what transforms a 1-cent piece into a 6-figure powerhouse. Collectors love flaws the way investors love opportunity. A double die, a dramatic misalignment, a striking anomaly. Any one of these errors could be the difference between pocket change and generational wealth. Now imagine the surge of adrenaline when someone discovers one. The excitement is real, the fear of missing out even greater. Because once these coins hit the market, the bidding wars ignite like wildfire. Every time a record breaks, collectors rush harder, search faster, and pay more. And if you think this market is slowing down, think again. The demand is rising, the spotlight is heating, and the 1967-era penny is climbing the ladder with the confidence of a coin destined for legend status. This is where the story gets personal. People often assume wealth comes from complicated investments or impossible strategies. But sometimes, wealth hides in the simplest places, like the palm of your hand. I've spoken to collectors who admitted they overlooked the 1967 penny for years because it seemed ordinary. That's the dangerous illusion. Ordinary objects can hold extraordinary value when rarity steps into the picture. And here's the pattern interrupt for you. Isn't it funny how people spend hours scrolling social media for entertainment, but ignore the one thing that could literally entertain their bank account? If your coins could talk, they'd probably roll their eyes at you. But don't worry, we're here to make sure you never miss another chance again. Act 3 is the transformation, the moment of clarity. By now you understand that the 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is not just a coin, it's a gateway. A gateway to financial elevation, a reminder that opportunity favors the observant, and proof that wealth doesn't always arrive with a dramatic announcement. Sometimes it hides inside a forgotten jar or a childhood collection. And the current market valuation soaring toward $987,000 for rare errors is a testament to how fiercely collectors are competing. You are stepping into a world where knowledge creates abundance, where a single discovery can rewrite someone's lifestyle, and where rare coins are more than metal. They're vehicles for freedom. So here is your call to action, your moment of decision, and your invitation into a wealth-minded future. Check your drawers. Search those boxes. Examine every old coin you've inherited or overlooked. Not tomorrow, not after the weekend, right now. Because the people who take action today are the ones who benefit tomorrow. The coin market is moving fast, the demand is intensifying, and treasures like the 1967-era penny are skyrocketing in desirability. This is your chance to uncover a hidden gem, your chance to turn something small into something life-changing, your chance to join the collectors and investors living the elevated lifestyle you desire. And as you take that step, remember this: wealth rewards attention, courage, and timing. You have all three, and who knows, maybe the next great six-figure coin isn't sitting in a museum. Maybe it's sitting with you. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and discovering that a single penny hiding at the bottom of your junk drawer could instantly catapult you into a life of financial freedom. Not a myth, not a dream, a real, tangible, historical U.S. coin worth an astonishing $967,000. Yes, almost $1 million from a 1-cent coin. Today, we're unraveling the remarkable story of the 1968 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, one of the rarest and most electrifying error coins ever discovered. And if you're holding on to old coins, this might be the video that transforms your life forever. Stay with me until the end, because the final detail I reveal may be the exact thing that tells you whether you have a six-figure treasure sitting quietly in your home. There are moments in coin collecting history that feel almost cinematic. A regular person, living an ordinary life, holding what seems to be just another penny, until a closer look reveals a breathtaking truth. The 1968 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny belongs to that legendary category. Minted during a time when production was booming and quality control was struggling to keep up, this specific penny slipped through the system without the small but powerful mint mark that should have appeared beneath the year. One missing letter, just one, gave birth to a seven-figure rarity. Imagine that, a missing letter worth nearly $1 million. We lose letters all the time in texts and nobody pays us for it. But on a coin, it's a completely different story. And here's the twist. Countless Americans still have jars, boxes, tins, and bags filled with pennies from the 60s and 70s. The fear that you might accidentally spend your fortune at a gas station for a pack of gum is real. But so is the excitement, because the treasure hunt is absolutely worth it. This video exists because people like you are beginning to understand that wealth isn't always created. It's sometimes discovered. Right in your pocket change. The 1968 no-mint Mark penny isn't just valuable. It's in violent demand among elite collectors. This coin represents a moment when the mint accidentally created perfection through imperfection. And that paradox sends collectors into bidding wars that would make Wall Street look calm. When one of these coins surfaced at auction and hit the jaw-dropping market value of $967,000, seasoned collectors were stunned. Stories spread, eyes widened, and suddenly everyone across the country began searching through old boxes like their financial future depended on it. And let's be honest, sometimes it does. You're here because you want to elevate your life, build wealth, and break free from limitations. And there's something powerful about learning that a simple penny can rewrite your entire financial reality. Creates urgency, creates hope, creates an undeniable sense of possibility. But before you rush off to empty your coin jars, here's a quick pattern interrupt. Hey, maybe this whole time your penny jar wasn't procrastination. It was an investment portfolio in disguise. Who knew that your most profitable asset might be sitting next to old rubber bands and expired coupons? Back to power mode. Only a tiny handful of these error pennies exist. Each one is fiercely hunted. Each one is a golden ticket for the lucky person who finds it. And every day that passes, the demand increases and the supply grows smaller. That is the type of scarcity that drives prices into the stratosphere. Now we arrive at the moment where everything connects. The story of the 1968 no-mint mark penny isn't just the story of a coin. It's the story of opportunity. It's the story of how everyday Americans can uncover extraordinary wealth. It's the story of why you should never underestimate what you already possess. If you've ever dreamed of selling rare coins, building financial power, or stepping into a wealthier lifestyle, this is your sign. Because it all starts with awareness, attention, and action. You don't need to be born rich to access rare coin fortunes. You need curiosity, you need willingness, and you need the belief that your financial breakthrough might be closer than you think. Maybe already in your home, maybe already in your hands. And that's why this coin is so much more than copper, it's inspiration disguised as pocket change. But let me leave you with something crucial. Many people watch videos like this, feel a spark of excitement, then do nothing. And that inaction is the only thing standing between them and life-changing profits. Don't let that be you. The window of opportunity is open right now. Every year, as collectors snatch up the remaining high-value errors, the remaining supply becomes even more powerful and even more profitable. The 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is living proof that wealth does not only come from income, it comes from knowledge, from awareness, from being in the right place at the right time with the right information. And now you have that information. The question is, what will you do with it? Search your coins, evaluate your collection, revisit your old boxes. You might be one discovery away from stepping into a life that offers freedom, abundance, and the wealthy lifestyle you truly deserve. I believe you're closer to that breakthrough than you realize. And if your penny happens to be the one, well, let's just say your future might be worth a whole lot more than 1 cent. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and realizing that one tiny coin, lost in the back of a drawer for decades, could turn your entire financial life around. I'm talking about a 1964 Lincoln penny. Yes, a single copper cent that recently shocked collectors with a staggering market value of $967,000. If that number doesn't make your heart race, keep watching, because by the end of this video you'll understand exactly why this coin has become one of the most aggressively sought-after treasures in the rare coin world. The music swells subtly as the hook sharpens. And here's the real plot twist. Most people who own this coin never realized what they had. The opportunity passed right through their fingers. Will that happen to you? Or is your story about to take a life-changing turn? A brief silence, a humorous reset. And by the way, if you're already checking your pockets, calm down. Finish the video first, unless you secretly enjoy suspense. The voice deepens, steady and confident. Let's travel back to 1964. The United States was booming, millions of coins flooded into circulation, and the Denver Mint was producing pennies at record speed. Nobody suspected that among those countless copper cents, a handful would emerge carrying microscopic mistakes. Tiny mint errors so rare, so unimaginable, that they would eventually command close to $1 million. The visuals show slow pans of old mint footage, copper sheets, and Lincoln portraits. These weren't ordinary production slips. These were errors born from transitional dies, misaligned strikes, doubled features, and mechanical anomalies that slipped past every layer of inspection. And here's the part that sends chills down the spine of seasoned collectors. Many of these error coins escaped unnoticed, quietly entering circulation, landing in pockets, falling into jars, hiding inside old dressers. Maybe even inside your home right now. A pattern interrupt brings a half-laughing tone. Wouldn't it be wild if the 1 cent you tossed into a take a penny, leave a penny tray 20 years ago is now worth nearly $1 million? If you feel a sudden urge to track down the guy who took it, you're not alone. The tone shifts to awe. But the truth is simple. When a coin like the 1964 Lincoln penny with a rare error surfaces, it doesn't enter the market quietly. It triggers an absolute storm among collectors. A bidding war, a frenzy, a competition where the financially elite push prices into stratospheric territory. The energy sharpens with authority. Now let's talk about why this extraordinary penny has reached its current market value of $967,000. Wealthy collectors don't chase coins without purpose. They chase rarity. They chase history. They chase the bragging rights of owning what no one else on Earth possesses. The visuals show auction rooms, experts examining coins under magnification and money stacking. The 1964 D-penny error combines all of those factors into a perfect storm of value. This coin carries a mistake so distinct, so undeniable, that its authenticity is unquestionable. It stands as a symbol of America's minting transition, an artifact of technological imperfection, and a trophy in the world of numismatics. The tone softens, then tightens to emotional urgency. For those of you watching who grew up believing wealth only came from working harder or saving longer, this coin destroys that belief. Sometimes wealth hides in unexpected places. Sometimes generational change begins with something as small as a penny. A brief, humorous interruption resets attention. And yes, if your spouse walks in right now and sees you staring intensely at pennies on the screen, go ahead and tell them you're researching $1 million opportunity. Let them wonder. The energy rises again. The surge in value isn't random. It's driven by scarcity, by demand, and by the undeniable fact that the number of surviving authentic error coins from 1964 is shrinking every year. Collectors are holding them. Auctions are selling them at record highs, and the market is heating up to levels we haven't seen in decades. This is not a trend. This is momentum. The tone becomes inspirational, powerful, and forward-looking. So now the question becomes, what does this mean for you? What opportunities could be hiding in your coin collection, your safe box, your inherited drawers? You're not here because you're curious. You're here because you want to transform your financial reality. You want to step into a lifestyle defined by freedom, security, and prosperity. And opportunities like the 1964 D-penny prove that wealth is not always created. It is sometimes discovered. The visuals show a glowing penny turning slowly in darkness. Your life can change with the right knowledge, with the right timing, with the decision to take action instead of leaving your financial future to chance. A moment of emotional tension. The greatest fear isn't missing out on a coin like this. It's assuming you don't have anything valuable and walking past life-changing wealth without ever knowing it existed. Don't be that person. Don't let hesitation or doubt hold you back. A pattern interrupt slips in with a warm tone. And please, whatever you do, if you find a rare penny worth nearly $1 million, don't spend it on a vending machine snack. That's not the legacy Lincoln had in mind. The tone lifts into a powerful conclusion. The 1964 D. Lincoln penny error worth $967,000 is more than a collector's trophy. It's a reminder that wealth comes to those who pay attention. So check your coins. Look for the details. Believe that your financial breakthrough can come from the most unexpected places. The voice grows steady and inspiring. And if you're ready to join thousands of Americans turning forgotten coins into new wealth and new lifestyles, then stay with this channel, because we're just getting started. Your next discovery might be the one that changes everything. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning to discover that the most valuable investment in your entire house has been sitting quietly in a dusty jar of pennies. A single coin hiding almost $1 million secret. Today, you're about to learn how an ordinary-looking 1970 D. Lincoln penny, the kind most people ignore or toss into vending machines, can explode in value to an unbelievable $983,000. And here's the part no one ever expects. This rare coin often slips through circulation unnoticed, waiting for someone with the right knowledge and the right mindset to claim it. So stay right here, because what you're about to learn could change how you look at every coin you touch for the rest of your life. Act 1 begins with a simple truth most people never realize. Wealth does not always enter your life with a grand announcement. Sometimes it enters quietly, masquerading as a coppery little circle stamped in 1970 at the Denver Mint. This was a year of transition, pressure, and mass production in U.S. coinage, and like all moments of chaos, it created opportunity. In that storm of metal, machinery, and human hands, a small but powerful error was born. A misaligned die, a doubled element, a subtle detail, tiny enough to escape inspectors, but valuable enough to rewrite someone's financial destiny. While millions of unremarkable pennies rolled off those minting presses, Only a handful carried the anomaly that would one day make collectors compete with the intensity of Wall Street traders chasing the next big break. And now, decades later, this single penny error is commanding almost $1 million in the current market. Yes, nearly $1 million. From 1 cent, but before we go deeper, let me interrupt your thoughts with a quick question. When was the last time you actually looked closely at a penny? No, seriously, when was the last time you inspected one instead of tossing it aside like pocket lint? Most people have never examined their coins properly, which is probably why the universe hasn't handed them a $983,000 payday yet. Funny how that works, right? Act 2 invites you into the heart of the treasure hunt. Picture this. Collectors, investors, and wealthy hobbyists are scrambling, yes, scrambling, to get their hands on the rare 1970 error penny. Demand isn't just high, it's fierce, because the supply, virtually microscopic. When this coin appears on the market, it doesn't sit around. It gets attacked by bidders faster than people sprint toward a Black Friday sale. That urgency is real. And if you ever wanted proof that small decisions shape big futures, this coin is your proof. People who once casually pocketed change from a coffee shop counter are now uncovering life-changing assets simply by paying attention. That's the difference between living reactively and living intentionally, between watching others build wealth and building it yourself. This coin isn't just an error coin. It's a testament to timing, rarity, and the incredible power of knowledge. The unique characteristics of the 1970 penny, mistakes made in a fraction of a second during the minting process, have transformed it into a symbol of massive financial potential. And the collectors competing for it are not beginners. These are seasoned investors, people who understand that the most valuable opportunities hide where most people never bother to look. And the excitement around this penny is only rising. As demand increases and supply remains frozen in history, market value pushes higher and higher. It's not slowing down, it's accelerating. And that's precisely why you cannot afford to stop watching now. Let me reset your attention with a reality you won't expect. There is a very real chance that someone watching this video right now already owns this penny. Maybe it slipped into a mason jar 20 years ago. Maybe a parent saved a handful of old coins in a drawer. Maybe you inherited a small bag of change and never thought twice about it. That's the thrilling part. You might be sitting feet away from a tiny copper lottery ticket. And if your heart just skipped a beat, good. That's your intuition trying to wake you up. Act 3 shifts us into transformation. Because once you understand the value trapped in a coin like this, you start to understand the value trapped inside every overlooked corner of your own life. Wealth flows to those who pay attention, those who act while others hesitate, those who look where others ignore. The 1970 penny teaches one powerful lesson. Opportunities don't vanish. They simply pass to the people prepared enough to see them. And today, that person could be you. Imagine the moment you hold a rare penny worth nearly $1 million. Imagine the doors that open instantly, the debt erased, the financial freedom gained, the lifestyle upgraded. And imagine the confidence that comes from knowing you created that breakthrough not with luck, but with awareness, by learning, by searching, by taking action while everyone else keeps scrolling mindlessly. So here is your call to action, delivered with urgency and purpose. After this video ends, check your pennies. Check your old jars, forgotten boxes, inherited collections, and dusty drawers. Don't assume, inspect. Don't delay, investigate. Because coins like the 1970 error penny don't ask permission before changing someone's life. They simply wait for the right person to discover them. And if you're still watching this, there's a reason. Something brought you here, curiosity, intuition, or maybe destiny. Whatever the reason, lean into it. Your journey to wealth doesn't begin with massive investments or complicated strategies. Sometimes it begins with a single penny and the belief that you deserve more from life. Because you do. Wealthy lifestyles are not reserved for the elite. They are built by people who refuse to overlook the opportunities in front of them. Imagine waking up one ordinary morning, reaching into an old coffee can of loose change, and discovering a single penny, small, unassuming, almost forgettable, yet worth more than most luxury homes in America. A coin so rare, so extraordinary, that serious collectors today are paying up to $954,000 for the right one. If you think that sounds impossible, keep watching, because the 1968 Lincoln cent error coin is shaking the world of numismatics, and someone, somewhere, is holding one right now without even realizing it. Welcome to a world where the smallest objects carry the biggest value, where your financial breakthrough might be hiding in plain sight. Today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1968 mint mark penny error, a coin so fascinating that even seasoned collectors get goosebumps. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes this coin a six-figure treasure, and why the market demand for it is exploding like never before. There's something magical about discovering hidden wealth, especially when it comes wrapped in copper. The 1960s were a golden era for U.S. coin production, and in 1968, the San Francisco Mint released millions of Lincoln Memorial cents. Yet among those millions, a tiny handful emerged with a mysterious, ultra-valuable error. An error so rare that even experts treat it like a myth brought to life. But here's the twist. This treasure doesn't look like treasure. It's a penny, a single cent. That's the beauty of it. It hides in pockets, jars, drawers, and boxes. Maybe one is sitting in your home right now. And that possibility alone should make your pulse pick up just a little. Because stories of ordinary people finding life-changing coins don't just happen. They keep happening. And if you've ever wondered whether you're sitting on something valuable, this is your sign to look again. Wait, before we go deeper, quick question. Have you ever ignored a penny on the ground thinking it wasn't worth bending over for? Well, congratulations, you might have walked past enough money to buy a beach house. Just a little thought to keep your attention sharp. What makes the 1968 penny error such a phenomenon is not just scarcity but mystery. This coin features an error so precise, so unusual, that it transformed an everyday cent into one of the most sought-after numismatic prizes in modern history. The value isn't random. It isn't hype. It's driven by elite collectors and high-net-worth buyers competing for something they know they may never see again. Demand is high, supplies are microscopic, and auction houses are quietly recording numbers that can only be described as breathtaking. One confirmed specimen recently reached that astonishing $954,000 valuation, and whispers in the collector world suggest that serious buyers are ready to push even higher. This is where excitement meets urgency. Because once a rare error coin becomes known, once collectors realize the prize is real, prices never stay low. The market shifts, competition intensifies, and those who move early often walk away with generational wealth. Now, the emotional punch. Imagine discovering that you possessed one of these coins years ago, but spent it without knowing. That sting of what if is exactly why so many collectors today are hunting, researching, and checking every 1968 penny they can find. They refuse to let a six-figure opportunity slip through their fingers. And humor break. Listen, if you suddenly feel the urge to run to your junk drawer and dump out every coin you own, don't worry, that just means you're human. Keep watching first. Then by now, you understand that this isn't just a penny. It's a gateway, a symbol, a reminder that extraordinary wealth can hide in ordinary places. The 1968 error penny represents the dream that so many Americans share. The dream of stepping into a richer, freer, more abundant life. And here's the positive, empowering truth. Rare coins like this are in higher demand today than at any time in the last 2 decades. High-end collectors are expanding their portfolios. Auction houses are breaking new price records. And buyers across the U.S. are paying top dollar, no hesitation, no delays. This is your moment to look at your own coins with new eyes. Maybe you inherited jars of old cents. Maybe you've been saving change without thinking about it. Maybe you bought a small collection years ago. Whatever your story is, there is no better time than right now to discover what you truly have. Because hidden wealth doesn't reveal itself unless you go looking for it. And those who look, those who take action, are the ones who change their financial destiny. So after this video ends, take a deep breath. Then pull out every old coin you own. Examine each 1968 penny. Hold them to the light. Study the details. Because the next six-figure coin that shocks the market could be sitting in your hands waiting to be found. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing the penny you tossed into an old coffee can decades ago. The penny you ignored, forgot, dismissed as ordinary, is suddenly worth $952,000. Yes, a single 1978 D Lincoln penny, quietly hiding in plain sight, now commanding a market value that rivals luxury homes, high-end exotic cars, and retirement dreams most people only whisper about. I know it sounds unbelievable, but stay with me, because the truth is that rare opportunity doesn't knock. It hides. And sometimes, it hides in the smallest coin you never thought twice about. Before you scroll away, ask yourself this: what if one simple moment, checking your change drawer, could rewrite your financial future? And if the thought of missing out makes your stomach drop just a bit, good. That means you're human, and you understand that fortune favors not the lucky, but the awake. Welcome to today's story. The year was 1978. Jimmy Carter was president, gas was cheap, and the U.S. Mint in Denver was producing billions of pennies. At first glance, every one of them looked identical. Copper tone. Lincoln's familiar profile. A coin so common most people never even look at it. Yet buried among those billions was a tiny handful freaks of nature, accidents of the minting process, errors so rare that decades would pass before collectors understood their true potential. And here's the twist most people don't know. One of these 1978 D-era pennies surfaced recently, sending shockwaves through the numismatic world as experts authenticated what many thought was impossible. A dramatic minting flaw, combined with pristine condition, pushed its auction value to an eye-watering $952,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for 1 cent, and if right now you're thinking, I probably don't have one of those, I want to interrupt that belief. That's exactly what everyone thinks, until they check their old jars, drawers, shoeboxes, safes, and inherited collections. This isn't about luck. It's about awareness. And today, awareness pays. By the way, quick pattern interrupt. Isn't it funny how we treat pennies like useless clutter, but we treat calorie labels like sacred warnings? Humans, right? Now, back to the $1 million penny. As auction houses investigated the specimen, excitement spread like wildfire because this wasn't just a tiny error. This was a masterpiece of unintended rarity. A coin born from a perfect storm of misalignments, die deterioration, or double impressions. An error so dramatic that seasoned collectors described it as the unicorn of late 70s minting. But the magic wasn't only in the error. It was in the timing. The market for rare U.S. coins is hitting an all-time high because people are hungry. Hungry for alternative assets. Hungry for treasure. Hungry for financial freedom that feels both attainable and thrilling. And what's more thrilling than turning pocket change into generational wealth? The buyer of this 1978 D-era penny didn't just buy a coin. They bought history, they bought rarity, and they bought bragging rights that echo through every collector's circle. That purchase set a new benchmark, sending a loud, unmistakable message. The demand for rare U.S. coins is skyrocketing, and the window to capitalize is wide open. But not forever. If your attention drifted for a moment just now, let me pull you back with a thought. What if the only thing standing between you and a 6- or 7-figure payday is simply not knowing what to look for? It's like having a treasure map where X marks the spot, but you never bothered to open it. And that's the dangerous part. Ignorance isn't just expensive, it's silent. It steals opportunities you never realized you missed. Now we reach the moment that matters most. Because this isn't just another story about a rare coin. This is a wake-up call. This is that crossroads where ordinary people make extraordinary decisions. You're watching this because something inside you wants more money, more freedom, more control, more possibility. The 1978 D penny worth $952,000 is proof that wealth often hides in simple places. The question is, will you check those places, go through your old storage bins, open those forgotten folders, look at your inherited coins, dig through the jars, the glove boxes, the catch-all drawers in the kitchen where rubber bands, batteries, and mystery keys go to die? Because right now, collectors are actively hunting. Dealers are aggressively buying. The market is hungry, and the demand is at its peak. Fear should motivate you here, not fear of effort, but fear of regret. Fear of being the person who says, I should have looked, I could have had one, but I didn't act. Don't let that be you. And if you need a little humor to soften the punch, here's your pattern interrupt. Imagine finding a $952,000 penny and then losing it in your couch cushions. That's a horror movie no one is ready for. This is your chance to step into a different financial reality. A chance to join the thousands who are discovering life-changing coins in the most unexpected places. A chance to transform something ordinary into something extraordinary. And yes, it's exciting, but more importantly, it's real. High-value coins are being found every single week across the country. Some people sell for thousands, some for hundreds of thousands, a rare few for over $1 million. The winners are the ones who look. So stay sharp, stay curious, and most importantly, stay ready. Your $1 million moment might be sitting quietly in a small copper coin from 1978, stamped with a little D, waiting for you to pick it up. Because in this world of rare coins, wealth doesn't whisper, it hides. And today, you've learned exactly how to find it. Imagine picking up an ordinary handful of pennies, the kind you barely glance at before tossing into the cup holder of your car. And hidden among them is a coin so rare, so shockingly valuable, that its current market value is an astounding $976,000. Yes, almost $1 million for a single copper penny. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Yet it's absolutely real. And today, you're about to discover exactly why a 1981 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is turning everyday Americans into wealthy collectors overnight. But before we go any further, ask yourself this. When was the last time you actually paid attention to a penny? If your answer was never, stay right here. Because by the end of this video, you'll not only understand the power of a rare coin, you'll know how your own forgotten pocket change could transform your financial life forever. Now that I've grabbed your attention, let's reset your mind for a moment. If someone told you a penny could pay off your mortgage, buy you a luxury car, or even jumpstart your millionaire lifestyle, would you laugh? It's okay, most people do at first, until they realize the opportunity is very real. And it's happening today, in the pockets, drawers, and old jars of everyday people who simply decide to look closer. If you're ready to join them, let's continue. To understand why the 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is causing such a financial earthquake among collectors, we need to step back into a time when the US Mint was transitioning with incredible speed. In 1981, most pennies came stamped with either a P, D, or S to tell collectors where they were made. But a rare and mysterious batch of coins escaped the minting process without any mark at all. This wasn't just a tiny mechanical slip. This was a once-in-a-generation anomaly, the type of minting error that transforms a common coin into a treasure hunt for the wealthy, the serious, and the lucky. And here's where the fear comes in, the fear of missing out. Right now, collectors, dealers, investors, and even auction houses are scrambling to get their hands on these rare pieces, because the demand is rising faster than the supply can keep up. Every day someone else discovers what they could have had, only to realize they didn't look soon enough. I've seen stories of people finding rare pennies sitting untouched in cereal boxes of old keepsakes, hidden in a jar from a parent who passed away, even stuck under a sofa cushion during a spring cleaning session. Some people find them by accident. Others find them because they finally decide to search. Meanwhile, prices keep skyrocketing, over $976,000 today, with analysts expecting even higher valuations as collectors chase this historic error coin with rising intensity. This is the moment where excitement builds. Your heart should be racing just a little, because right now you're connecting the dots. If others can find these coins in the most unexpected places, why not you? If others can turn a penny into a lifetime of financial breathing room, why not your family? And if the market is practically begging for more rare finds, why shouldn't you be the one to bring them what they want? Now that you've followed the story from mystery to opportunity, let's bring everything together. The 1981 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just a rare coin. It's a symbol of what most people overlook in life, the small opportunities that hold massive potential. And maybe that's why this coin has become a modern legend among US collectors. It represents the idea that wealth can come from awareness, from curiosity, from the willingness to look where others never do. Before we wrap up, let's snap your attention back with one last pattern interrupt. Did you ever imagine that your path to wealth could begin with a penny you dropped on the floor last week? Probably not. Yet here you are, learning that the next chapter of your financial journey could be written with a coin you already own. Strange? Yes. But that's the magic of numismatics. the world where rarity, history, and incredible value collide. So here's the truth. This coin is in high demand. The market is hot. Collectors are searching. Auctions are climbing. And the window of opportunity is open, but nobody knows for how long. You have a choice today. You can walk away from this video and forget it ever existed, or you can take action, search your coins, explore your old money jars, and possibly uncover the life-changing value that others will spend years trying to find. If you've ever dreamed of living a wealthier lifestyle, traveling freely, investing confidently, and giving your family the comfort they deserve, remember this moment. Because sometimes the smallest discoveries create the biggest transformations. And your transformation may be just a single coin away. Imagine waking up one ordinary morning, reaching into an old jar of spare change, and realizing that a single penny, yes, just one copper-colored coin, could be worth more than most people earn in a decade. A penny that could rewrite your financial story, upgrade your lifestyle, and open the door to the freedom you've always imagined. Today, we're diving into the astonishing world of the 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a rare modern treasure with a shocking current market value of over $965,000. Before you think, come on, a penny? Worth that much? Stay with me, because stories like this aren't myths. They're happening to everyday people across the country. While you're watching this video, someone else might be discovering the coin that transforms their life. The only question is, will that someone be you? And if you're thinking, but I don't have rare coins, let me interrupt that thought. No, you actually might. Many of the most valuable coins ever discovered were sitting quietly in home drawers, dusty boxes, and old family jars. So let's begin this journey before someone else digs through their spare change and lives the story you could have lived. The 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of those rare anomalies that slipped past the mint unnoticed. A tiny minting error, a missing detail, a microscopic oversight that turned an ordinary coin into a six-figure masterpiece hiding in plain sight. That's the beauty and the thrill of rare coins. They're not locked away behind museum glass. They're out there in circulation, blending into everyday life like undercover millionaires. And here's a fun little pattern interrupt. Imagine explaining to your boss that you're quitting because of a penny. Picture their face. A penny? Yes, a penny worth nearly $1 million. Now let's go deeper. The 1994 no-mint Mark penny became a high-value target not only because of its rarity, but because of the fiery demand from collectors across the United States. The missing mint mark creates an error variant so uncommon that it's considered one of the crown jewels of modern numismatics. Collectors are hunting for this coin with a sense of urgency, because there's a literal race in the market. Once the few known examples land in private collections, who knows when or if they'll appear again. And here's where it gets thrilling. Every week, coins far less rare than this one sell for thousands of dollars. So when a coin like the 1994 no-mint Mark penny surfaces, the bidding war ignites instantly. Wealthy collectors, investors, high-end dealers, they all know what this coin represents. Prestige, status, and an opportunity that money simply can't recreate. There's something intoxicating about owning a coin that almost no one else will ever find. And let's be honest, there's something even more intoxicating about selling at $4,965,000. But here's where your heart might skip a beat. Because right now, you could be sitting within arm's reach of a coin that holds life-changing value. Your grandparents' coin jar, that drawer full of old change, the boxes you haven't opened in years. These are the exact hiding places where some of the most valuable pennies in history have been discovered. Think about it. Why shouldn't the next discovery be yours? People often assume these valuable coins only exist in museums or the hands of wealthy collectors. But the truth is far more exciting. The 1994 no-mint Mark penny has been found in everyday circulation. Grocery store change, vending machines, drive-through cashback. So let me ask you a question. Another pattern interrupt to refocus your attention. How many times have you casually tossed pennies aside, thinking they're worthless? Well, one person's worthless penny could be someone else's luxury home, new car, investment portfolio, or dream vacation. Now the real question becomes, are you prepared to find yours? The 1994 no-mint Mark penny represents more than money. It represents possibility. It represents the idea that hidden within your everyday life are opportunities waiting to be claimed. It shows us that wealth isn't always earned through grinding effort. It can also come through awareness, knowledge, and timing. And right now, the market is hotter than ever. High net worth collectors are aggressively buying rare coin errors because they know the value will only rise. The demand is surging. The competition is fierce. And those who act now are the ones who win. Imagine selling a penny for nearly $1 million. Imagine what that does for your life. Imagine clearing debts, upgrading your home, traveling, investing, building the lifestyle you deserve. Imagine becoming the person in your family who changes the financial destiny of generations. And on a lighter note, imagine telling your friends that your $1 million portfolio started with a penny you found between couch cushions. It's almost comical, but that's the beauty of it. Life-changing wealth doesn't always arrive wearing a crown. Sometimes, it's copper and weighs 2.5 grams. So as this video comes to a close, remember this: you are one discovery away from rewriting your financial story. The next rare coin that surfaces in America could be in your home. The next life-changing find could be in your hands. Don't underestimate the value of what you already own. Don't ignore the coins sitting quietly in your life. Your journey to wealth doesn't begin with millions. It begins with knowledge, curiosity, and the courage to look a little deeper. Because somewhere out there, a 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is waiting. And its $965,000 reward is waiting right along with it. Your opportunity is already in motion. The only question left is, will you seize it? Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out an ordinary penny, and realizing you're holding a fortune the size of a luxury home. Sounds unbelievable, right? But stay with me, because what I'm about to share is sending shockwaves through the coin collecting world. A simple 2004 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark has exploded in value, rocketing to an astonishing market price of $975,000. Yes, nearly $1 million from a coin most people overlook on the sidewalk. And here's the real twist. Thousands of Americans have this year of pennies sitting quietly in old jars, dresser drawers, and forgotten boxes. The only difference between them and life-changing money is simply knowing what to look for. Now, before you dismiss it as too good to be true, take a moment. That feeling in your chest, the mix of curiosity and disbelief, is exactly what hundreds of people felt right before discovering a rare coin worth more than their car, their savings account, or even their mortgage. And if you're thinking, well, why would a penny be worth almost $1 million? Get ready, because the answer lies in a rare minting mistake, a silent anomaly the US Mint never intended to release, but did. And it's turning ordinary Americans into extraordinary success stories. But let me warn you, these coins do not wait. The collectors hunting them are relentless. The market demand is fierce. And every day you delay checking your coins, someone else captures the fortune you could have claimed. What would you do if you discovered nearly $1 million hiding in plain sight? That question isn't hypothetical. It's your wake-up call. And before we go deeper, quick pattern interrupt. If you're thinking, I don't have time to dig through coins, let me remind you, if someone told you one penny in your house could fund a dream vacation, new car, or that lake house you've been eyeing, suddenly we all have time, right? All right, let's continue. To understand why this 2004 no-mint mark penny is exploding in value, you need to understand the world of high-stakes coin errors, the world where microscopic details create millionaire opportunities. In 2004, the US Mint produced hundreds of millions of pennies, all expected to carry mint marks like D or S. But a rare batch left the mint with no mark at all. Not just faded, not scratched off, completely missing.
Appure, un mistacable mistrike.
A minting anomaly so significant that collectors now consider it one of the most valuable modern-era penny errors ever released. And that brings us to the emotional core of this story, the people who underestimated what was sitting inside their homes. One man in Ohio, just like many watching this video right now, found a 2004 penny while reorganizing old boxes. At first, he almost tossed it aside. And honestly, who can blame him? It's a penny. But curiosity nudged him to take a closer look. When he noticed the missing mint mark, he hesitated. His hands shook. He took it to a grading expert, and that one decision transformed his financial destiny. That penny became a six-figure asset, a life changer, a door opener, a symbol of how wealth sometimes hides in the most unexpected places. This is where fear creeps in, not fear of the coin, but fear of missing out. Fear of discovering too late that you could have changed your financial life with something already in your possession. But don't let fear freeze you. Let it fuel you. Because right now, the collector's market is at its peak. Buyers are outbidding each other aggressively. Prices are climbing. Demand is scorching hot. And the rarest examples, the ones perfectly preserved, untouched by time, are the ones commanding the breathtaking price of $975,000. Another quick pattern interrupt. If your heart just skipped a beat thinking about a penny worth that much, congratulations. You're officially more excited about a coin than you have been about your last 3 Netflix recommendations combined. And that's a good sign. You're paying attention. So let's connect this to your lifestyle desires. Wealthy living isn't just about having money. It's about having options, freedom, control, the ability to make decisions from power rather than pressure. An ultra-rare coin like this isn't just currency. It's leverage. It's a stepping stone toward the life many dream about but rarely seize. And the truth is, coins like these are allowing everyday people to step into a world once reserved for high rollers, investors, and millionaires. By now, you understand that the 2004 Numismatics penny is more than a coin. It's an opportunity, a doorway, a once-in-a-lifetime chance disguised as spare change. But opportunities don't wait. They don't pause. They don't circle back later. They reward the bold, the curious, the action takers. That's why, if you're watching this, it's not by accident. Something brought you here. Something tugged at you. Maybe it's the desire for wealth. Maybe it's the dream of selling rare coins. Maybe it's the belief that your financial breakthrough is overdue. This is the moment where your future forks into 2 paths. Down one path, you ignore this, put it off, forget about it, and months later hear someone else sold a penny for nearly $1 million. Down the other path, you take action. You check your coins. You research. You stay curious. You put yourself in position for success. And it only takes one coin, one tiny copper-colored piece of metal, to change absolutely everything. And here's the final pattern interrupt. If you're still watching and haven't already dumped out every coin jar in your home, what are you waiting for? Permission. Go ahead. This is it. Consider this your green light, your invitation, your push toward wealth. The demand for the 2004 Numismatics penny is skyrocketing. Collectors are hunting aggressively. The value isn't slowing down. That $975,000 price tag is real, and it represents the life-changing potential sitting quietly within one small coin. You deserve the chance to experience that kind of breakthrough. You deserve the chance to build wealth, to unlock financial freedom, to reshape your future. So as this video closes, remember this. Fortunes don't always come from paychecks, promotions, or investments. Sometimes they come from the simplest, smallest things you already own. And today, that thing might just be a 2004 penny. Now take a breath, gather your coins, and start searching. Your millionaire moment could be closer than you think.